Guys, here's a little video just to show you kind of what we do to get a ProPresenter playlist ready for Sunday. So typically, of course, the first thing you would do after you open ProPresenter is sync. So you go to ProPresenter, Preferences, Sync, and you'll be syncing down. And as long as you're on the Sanctuary Mac, all of these should be checked. So I'm going to sync. And this should be pretty quick because, whoa, that's wonderful. And we're going to reopen ProPresenter. Typically, that would not happen. It would just sync for you and be all happy and done. Okay, so we've synced. We're going to pretend that all went normally. Next thing we're going to do is pull up the appropriate playlist. So under Playlist, Sunday Worship, it's usually going to be the first one. And in this case, it is. This is coming up, this week coming up. So now you can see all the parts that are going to be in this week's service, but you see this little update available button. And this actually links the playlist to Planning Center. So if something were to have changed, like maybe we added a baptism or we took one out, that would be done in Planning Center, and then you want to click this just to update your playlist here and make sure that you have the most accurate playlist. All right, so now we have all these little bits here, these parts that need to be dragged in. These are all available to us in presentations. So I'm going to click over here. I'm going to keep my service up over here on the right, and I'm just going to move things in. So announcements, that's going to be this one titled Announcements, not announcement video. That's a different critter. Countdown is here. Usually these elements will be all ready for you, and you just kind of move them in. I'm going to scroll down real quick and just kind of see what else I've got that I can go ahead and move in. Moving through the songs. So the meet and greet we don't have anything for. The welcome we do. So go find my welcome here. And we'll go through the songs in just a second. Bumper video, we can actually go ahead and pull in too. That's here. All right. Sermon we'll do actually in a separate video. For the response, here let's go ahead and move in this little thing called text. This is all those things that Blake could choose to tell folks to text to our number. So just go ahead and put it there in case he mentions anything. And these will typically have a background that matches the sermon series. Closing thoughts. Okay, I want to talk about this for a second because it's a little new. This is where Stephen gets up, and you can see that here's our item of the week coming up. It's going to be fruit snacks. Those are yummy. So what you can't see on this slide right here is that it crashes things. It has the magic crash button on it. Okay, so here we are again. All right. So closing thoughts. All right. So it now has a new prop that Judd created that will display the name of the person who's speaking. So it's a little logo down here, and it says Stephen Pollitt. So you can flash that up when he comes up on the stage, and then you can move on. Once you click to this, it will actually clear that the prop with his name, and it'll just be the item of the week that shows up. The announcement video typically would also be an item in the presentations that you could pull over. This week's is not ready to go yet. And then I think I'm going to have to pull on the announcements one more time. So we have presentations. See, like here's an announcement video, but this is the one for September 20th, so we don't want to do that. Well, let's pull over the announcements again. All right, lovely. Now I kind of just go top to bottom, going through everything and making sure everything's right. Looking at our songs. So this one's good. You can see that it's got the title and it has an artist's name by it, which is good. That means the arrangement is correct so far as we know. So I would pull in a new background. That's just a click and drag from my backgrounds. And usually there are some that we have pulled in for each new sermon series. And just as a matter of taste, personal preference, I tend to go I tend to go crazy. I tend to go from, the songs in the beginning will be brighter, more motion, moving down to darker and slower. That's usually how our songs go as well. So I just tend to do that with the visuals also. So that one's fine. I mean, I'll just pick some backgrounds that go with things. Let's look at 10,000 Reasons. All right, so this one actually, you see how it doesn't have an artist name? That's because we haven't actually selected an arrangement. So I'm going to come over here to this arrangements button and come to my menu here, and it will always be it's pretty much always the artist name. So Matt Redman. So now we can see um, our the arrangement for this song. If I decided as we're going through that it really needs another blank or they're going to do another bridge, whatever, I can add those elements from here, just pull it down, and it adds another one. I'm going to remove that so I don't mess anything up. Okay, um, so we'll go through. Prayer doesn't have an item. The bumper video we've pulled in. Just a note about the bumper video, if when you're going through things, the bumper video is acting weird, maybe it's not stopping, it's looping. What you want to come down is to the sermon series folder down here. Here's our bumper video, and if you right click on it, the behavior should always be foreground and your playback should always be stop. You do not want it looping. Do make sure that you come down and adjust it here rather than up here, because this will fix it, once and for all. Sermon again we'll do another time, and there's all of our text stuff. And we got Stephen, announcement video coming later. Great things. Again, you notice it doesn't have an arrangement, so we'll select that. Phil Wickham, there we are. And I like to keep things neat, so we'll just close that back up again. Okay. Something I want to mention here is that All Creatures of Our God and King is going to be our offering song. So right now what we're doing is we have a little offering slide we throw up, and we're keeping it through generally like the first chorus. So what I'll do is actually come over to, again, presentations. This is the easiest way I found to do it. There's my offering. There's my offering. And, and I'm crashing ProPresenter again. All right, I am going to right click and copy. And I'm going to come back over to my playlist and back to my song. Hopefully not crashing anything again. I'm going to right click on the first slide and paste. And that's going to drop my little offering prop or offering slide right here at the front. So this is where I want to take just a second to talk about all the little icons that are appearing here, because they play into how the offering slide looks. So each of these little props or these little icons indicate that we've told the slide to do something. So there are some standard things, right click, that we always want to tell it to do. This is pretty much the beginning of anything, any slide, any presentation. We add a clear prop action. So add action, clear, and you can see it's already been applied. So we're going to clear any props. We are also going to have the appropriate audience look on. And this is something I actually do need to fix. So this, because it's a song, it's got the song's audience look already applied, but that's actually not what I want right now because I'm going to be throwing the offering slide up there. So I'm going to come remove an action. I'm going to remove my audience look, which tells it how to appear on the screens, both here in the auditorium and on our live stream. So I'm going to go back and add an action again. Audience look, I want the offering look, right? Which if I click on it, and then click on our offering slide, you can see how it makes it look now. And that's going to be fine because this is our command 0 until we get through. We'll just go through this first verse. So I'm going to change the way it looks starting here at the blank. So I'm going to, again, add an action, audience look, and I want to go back to our songs look at this point so that it displays correctly. So let me show you. If I were to click on this slide right now, we're still in the offering look. You can see how giant it is. This does happen sometimes. So once I've come here and then I click on the next slide, look, it's back to our lyrics appearance. And that's what we want. Let's see, anything else? Stage. I will actually remove this as well so that I can show you stage action. I'm going to take that off and I'm going to add stage look. So this is how I tell it to appear on our stage screen. So the screen that can be seen from the stage, so the one here behind the booth. I want it to be current and next, right? So it's showing the current slide and the next slide. And I can just click done. So that's all good. So that's kind of something you want to be aware of. If you come in and something's just not looking right as you're clicking through, you may just need to go mess with the looks. Is there anything else? Nope, we're good there. Okay, couple of other things just to mention here is that when you are doing lights and lyrics on a Sunday morning, you do want to start the Planning Center timer. So if you come up to View, Planning Center, and I'm going to go, I would go here to select the appropriate service. So there we go. We got 3 days. We're doing all right. But we'll go ahead and have that set. Okay. Let's see. I think that's it for ProPresenter here. Just a note, since I've got you, we also would need to start Sonos for a service. So if you come to the Sonos app, it may already be set for you, but if it were not, you want to go to Spotify. And if you go down here, you can find our library playlists, and we have an upbeat pre-service playlist. That is what you would select, and you can play it. You do also want to make sure that everything, all your speakers are grouped together at the beginning. So if you just click again on this little icon right here, you can group everything together. And a note that this is something I forget all the time, but typically during the service, you would need to come to the Sonos app and actually ungroup the commons so that the sermon can be played out there rather than the music. So anyone who's out in the commons would still be able to hear that. Okay, I think we've covered the basics for getting ProPresenter ready for a Sunday morning. So yeah, so tune in next time when we do the sermon. Thanks, guys.